If I started with zero today, no savings, no investing, no financial cushion, I would stop dreaming about the full $100,000 for a second, because that number can actually mess people up. When you only see the big number, you feel behind, you feel late, you feel like everybody else knows something you don't. But the first $100,000 is not built in one giant move. It is built in layers. You build control, then breathing room, then discipline, then momentum, then wealth. So if I had to do it again from zero, this would be my exact plan. Not flashy, not fake, not based on luck, just practical steps that a regular person can actually follow. First, I'd stop the leaks. Before trying to grow money, I would figure out where my money is already going. Not where I think it's going, where it is actually going. That means I'd sit down and look at every bill, every subscription, every food app, every random swipe, every little habit that quietly drains cash. Because if money keeps leaking out, it does not matter how motivated you are. You can't build with a hole in the bucket. I would not start by trying to impress anybody. I would not upgrade my car. I would not start rewarding myself because I had one good paycheck. I would get brutally honest. If I'm spending like someone making six figures while my bank account looks like a crisis, that is the first problem. At this stage, the goal is simple. Make sure more money stays than leaves. That is where the journey really begins. The next thing I do is create a very simple money system. Nothing complicated, just 4 buckets: bills, spending, savings, and future. That's it. I'd have one account that pays the essentials, one account for normal day-to-day spending, one account for emergency savings, and one place where long-term money starts growing. I'd also check my credit, not because credit is everything, but because mistakes, old collections, or fraud can quietly make life more expensive. If you're starting from zero, you do not need surprises. You need clarity. This is the part people skip because it feels boring, but boring is what changes your life. Because once your money has a place to go, it stops disappearing so easily. A lot of people hate hearing that. They want to talk about investing, freedom, and millionaire habits. But if I'm starting at zero, my first mission is not to get rich. My first mission is to stop being fragile. Because when you have no cushion, every flat tire feels like a financial emergency. Every doctor visit feels like a setback. Every bad week turns into debt. So I would aim for my first $1,000 as fast as possible. Not perfectly, fast. I'd sell stuff, cut extra spending, take overtime, do weekend work, pause unnecessary shopping, and push hard until that first buffer is sitting there. Because that first $1,000 does something powerful. It changes the way you breathe. You stop feeling like life can knock you out with one surprise bill. And once you feel that, you stop wanting to live on the edge. Once I had a starter emergency fund, I would turn and face the real enemy: high interest debt. Credit cards, personal loans with ugly rates, anything that keeps charging me for old mistakes. Because if I'm paying 20, 25, 30% interest somewhere, I am not building wealth yet. I am running uphill with weight on my back. So my plan would be simple. I would keep that starter emergency fund in place. Then I would throw every extra dollar at high interest debt. Tax refund? Debt. Side hustle money? Debt. Extra shift? Debt. Random bonus? Debt. Not because debt payoff is exciting, but because every balance I kill gives me more monthly freedom. Every payment I remove creates room, and room is what eventually turns into savings, then investing, then real wealth. Part 5. I would still take the free money. Now this part matters. If my job offered a retirement match, I would contribute enough to get the full match, even while cleaning up my finances. Because that is one of the few times in life someone literally helps you build your future. A lot of people ignore that because retirement feels far away. But when you're starting from zero, you cannot afford to walk past free money. So I would at least contribute enough to capture the full match. Not because I'm trying to become a stock expert overnight, but because I'm trying to build the habit of paying my future self too. That habit matters more than people realize. Part 6. Then I'd build to $10,000. Once the bad debt was under control, I would go after the next milestone, $10,000. Why? Because $1,000 helps you survive a surprise, but $10,000 starts to change your posture. Now you're not just reacting, now you're steadier. At this stage, I would keep my life simple. No lifestyle inflation, no I deserve it spending spree, no trying to prove I'm doing better. I would keep my housing reasonable, my car reasonable, my monthly bills reasonable. Because the lower your fixed costs are, the easier it is to save aggressively. And that is one of the biggest secrets nobody wants to hear. A lot of financial progress has less to do with brilliance and more to do with keeping your life affordable long enough for your money to stack. Part 7. While saving, I'd grow my income on purpose. You cannot cut your way to $100,000 forever. At some point, income has to rise. So while I'm building savings, I'm also working on earning more. That could mean asking for a raise, learning a skill that pays better, getting licensed, switching industries, picking up part-time work, starting a small side income. Not because I want to work all day forever, but because the journey to the first $100,000 gets much faster when income rises and your lifestyle does not rise with it. That's the trap. A lot of people finally start making more money and immediately start living like the upgrade already made them secure. That's how progress disappears. If I got a raise, I would not spend the raise first. I would reroute it. More to savings, more to investing, more to freedom. That is how income starts changing your life instead of just changing your shopping. Part 8. From $10,000 to $25,000, I'd build real stability. This is where things start feeling different, because now I'm not just trying to survive the month, now I'm building actual stability. At this stage, I'd work toward a stronger emergency fund. I'd keep investing consistently, and I'd stay far away from fake opportunities that promise fast returns. No rushing into things I don't understand, no trying to double money overnight, no pressure to catch up by gambling with my progress. Because once you finally start making progress, the biggest danger is getting impatient. A lot of people do the hard part, build momentum, then ruin it trying to speed up the process. I'd rather move slower and keep the money than move faster and lose it. That mindset is what protects you. Part 9. From $25,000 to $100,000, I'd let systems do the heavy lifting. This is where the plan gets boring in the best way. Once I had a stronger cushion and no toxic debt dragging me down, I would automate everything possible. Automatic transfers to savings, automatic retirement contributions, automatic investing every payday. Because if your future only depends on motivation, your future is in trouble. Life gets busy, people get tired, emotions change. Systems do not care. Systems keep going. So I would build a life where every paycheck automatically does 4 things. It pays my bills, it protects me, it grows something, and it leaves me enough to live without chaos. Then I would increase those contributions every time my income went up. Not a giant dramatic change, just steady increases. A little more this year, a little more next year, a little more after that. That is how ordinary people quietly reach extraordinary numbers. Part 10. What I would not do. I would not try to look successful too early. I would not finance a lifestyle just because I'm tired of feeling behind. I would not buy a car to celebrate progress. I would not move into a more expensive place just because I finally can. I would not hand my future to every emotional decision. And I definitely would not confuse having one good year with being financially safe. Because getting money and keeping money are 2 different skills. A lot of people learn the first one,
Very few learn the second one. The first $100,000 is not about showing people you made it. It's about finally reaching a point where one emergency, one mistake, or one bad month does not destroy you. That is real progress.